Are you looking for something good on streaming? Well, here you go. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my Cross Amazon Prime TV series review. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, guys, now we have Cross, which is premiering on Amazon Prime November the 14th, 2024. If you like, you can stream all 8 episodes at once if you do want to have a binge party. Now, each episode is about 50 to 60 minutes, so you're gonna have a good 7 or 8 hours of television that you can watch in the convenience of your home. And this is being created by Mr. Ben Watkins. This is what the gentleman looks like right here. Never heard of him before, but if we just scroll down and look at his filmography, he did Truth Be Told, New York Undercover, not the TV show from the 90s, which I love, a TV movie that came out in 2019, Wu-Tang, an American Saga. He did 4 episodes, Wu-Tang, and Hand of God. If you've seen any of these right here, please let me know your thoughts down in that comment section below. I would really appreciate it. But when it comes to this Cross series, I did react to the trailer, which is on my channel right now if you do want to check out. I was like, oh, I'm on board with this. I have heard of Alex Cross before based on some novels that came out a while ago. They've had a number of movies and other television series to my understanding. I believe Tyler Perry was once in the Alex Cross movie, and I did see that. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't the best thing in the world, but it wasn't that bad. But when I saw that Aldis Hodge was attached to this, I automatically, before I even reacted to the trailer, I'm like, I am going to watch this. I'm a big fan of Aldis Hodge. If we just pull him up on IMDb, of course, this is what the gentleman looks like. He was last known, or one of his biggest roles was Hawkman, that came out a couple of years ago for Black Adam with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I thought the movie was pretty good, but that universe, that comic book superhero movie verse, is no longer a thing. He was also the voice for Green Lantern, John Stewart, a number of times in their animated films for DC. I really do wish that he was the Green Lantern in real life for James Gunn, but that was cast to Aaron Pierre. Shout out to him, but I do wish it was Aldis Hodge. But I was really looking forward to this right here. Didn't know much about the director, but the whole premise of Alex Cross and also Aldis Hodge attached to it, I'm gonna sign up for this. I'm gonna check it out. It's gonna be good, but was it good? Well, let's see. So before I get into all the nitty gritty, before I talk about all my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what this series is all about. TV series based on James Patterson's Alex Cross novels. Alex Cross uses forensic psychology to analyze killers' minds, delving into victims' psyches to identify murderers and bring them to justice. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about before I get into any specifics is I love the series. I love this show. It was great, top to bottom, up and down. I really don't have any complaints other than maybe it could have been a little longer, so I could have enjoyed it more, but across the board, this is phenomenal. And one of the things that I really like about it off top is there is no fluff at all. They don't waste any time to get to the drama, to get to the stakes, to get to the tension, to get to the problems that these characters have to solve in this mission for fighting for justice. You automatically are able to empathize, sympathize with the characters as soon as you meet them because they're engaged in certain activity that we all have experienced or long for, and that is love. That is that human connection with either friends, families, or your partner that we as human beings, that we really do enjoy as we're living out our lives. And everybody has been there before at some point in their life. So you don't have to waste any time to get to the good stuff. Something else that I really like about this series is it has a great soundtrack and or score. There were a lot of familiar songs that I heard in the trailer. Also, of course, in the background throughout different episodes, some from Shaka Khan. I don't know the artist or group who sings this old song from decades ago, but Trouble Man, that was played throughout this whole entire series. And also just a lot of drama and jazz music as well that was really soothing and kept everything upbeat to help that pace flow so there wasn't any dull moments throughout this entire series. And the next aspect that I really did like about this series is it doesn't waste time to get to the villains either. Something happens very early on in episodes 1 to where the drama unfolds, but you don't necessarily know who is the culprit, who is behind this, who is responsible. But by the middle of episode 1, you find out who the villain is. You find out who the antagonist is, and they show this person. You hear their voice, you see their face, you see them up and down, top to bottom, and there may be more than one villain, and there may be more than one antagonist, and they're just giving you all of this good stuff, all of this info, all of this stuff to ponder on while you're watching the show. Like, okay, how is this going to end when they're delivering me so much in the very beginning of this series? Are they blowing their load too early? No, they're not. They're just setting you up for a grand finale at the end. But before we talk about the grand finale or get in depth about the villain and or antagonist, we got to talk about the main character, the titular character, Mr. Alex Cross, or excuse me, Detective Alex Cross, played by Mr. Aldis Hodge. Across the board, he did great. I can honestly say that this is my favorite performance of him that I've ever seen before. Haven't seen everything that he's been in, but for me, this is my favorite. I like this more than his role in Hawkman and Black Adam a couple of years ago. And when it comes to Alex Cross, his character is everything that you would expect him to be. He's strong, he's powerful. When he walks into a room, he is demanding. He deserves your respect. People look up to him. People are afraid of him. He's charismatic, he's suave. Did I say that he's smooth? He's everything that a woman would want to be, and if you're a guy, you wouldn't mind hanging out with him and will probably want to take some advice from him. He's just that guy. But at the same time, he's flawed. He is not perfect. He does have his issues. And what's great about his character is it seemed like since birth, he lived a straight and narrow path and did everything that he was supposed to do, whether that was coming from his parents, mom, dad, grandparents, mentors at school, coaches at the local YMCA, wherever. Listen to his professors at universities, but he still is going through something, and that's a lot of pain and trauma. And that has a complete dictatorship over his whole life and psyche. And that's problematic because he does have 2 children to which he does have a great relationship. And pressing pause on Alex Cross real quick, I do want to talk about his kids briefly. By the name of Damon and Janelle Cross, play Melody Hurd and also Caleb Elijah. Now, Melody Hurd, this is what the young sister looks like right here. She may be familiar for you. If I scroll down, you're gonna recognize it, yes. She was in Them that came out a number of years ago, and also Fatherhood with Kevin Hart, which was a fantastic movie. The reason why I had to bring her up is she's a child actress, and I thought she did a phenomenal job in this series as well. On top of that, her brother by the name of Caleb Elijah. Now, this young brother did a great job too. I haven't seen him in anything else before because he's only had 2 credits. I haven't seen True Story. Actually, is that the True Story film or series that was on Netflix? If so, I don't remember him in that, but that was pretty damn good as well. Yes, this is actually some of Kevin Hart's best work that he did with Wesley Snipes a number of years ago. So I really did enjoy that. I don't remember him in this though. So I had to bring up these 2 young people because they did a great job. And usually for me, I'm not the biggest fan of child actors in films and television. They just don't seem to do a great job, seem to be always overacting and just not responding the way that a normal person should. But that's just my opinion. I thought these 2 young people were great. They were a fantastic addition to the show. So 2 thumbs up right there. Great job. These 2 young people are now on my radar. But going back to Alex Cross, yes, he has a great relationship with his kids. I love that. He's not the perfect dad. He's not the perfect mentor, but he's doing the best thing that he possibly can. And I like the dynamic, not that he just had with the children, but also his grandmother that helped raise him. The amount of love that she gave her family was wonderful. And the way that she would check Alex sometimes here and there was very respectable as well. I can only imagine that being a parent is very, very difficult, and timing is everything. And sometimes you may think that your child may be able to wait a week or 2 or however long for you to sit down and talk to them about whatever important issue. Sometimes you need to just do it right now in this instant before it's too late. But seeing him have this relationship with his children and other friends and colleagues throughout this entire show just added a lot of character and depth to the entire development of the series as a whole. There was layers to this and made you care about the characters more and made it to where it just wasn't, okay, the good guy needs to get the bad guy. You cared about these people going through real life issues, and you just wanted them to make it and be happy and live happily ever after. And Cross is having to deal with so much. He's trying to manage his family while dealing with his own mess, while also trying to track down a psychotic serial killer. And when it comes down to the psychotic serial killer, I loved him or her. Thought they did a great job. And what I liked about the antagonist is they matched the energy that Cross was delivering out every time he moved about the room. Not only was Cross smart, but the antagonist was too. Very intelligent, very detail oriented, was smooth, powerful, confident, charismatic, and all of that. And so seeing these 8 episodes and them going back and forth in this cat and mouse game, trying to get the upper hand over the other one, was really, really entertaining, and I did not know how it was gonna end. I keep saying this, but I was just so surprised that they revealed who the antagonist or in this were in this series so early on. So you're not watching this saying, okay, who did it? You're just saying, okay, I know who did it, but how are these two characters, the protagonist and the antagonist, are going to clash or get along, or who is going to come out over top? How are they going to figure out that they know about the other person and win at the end of the day? And I just love that whole back and forth. It was really, really amazing. And like I said, there are so many like little Easter eggs and reveals. I promise you, if you watch this series a second time, which you probably will enjoy it much more your second time around, you'll be able to piece stuff together. Like, I didn't see that the first time, but I see it now. I like what they did there. That was very, very clever. Something else that I really did like about Cross is the way that he would analyze information, kind of go into this thinking, pondering mode, to where he just sits back, tries to analyze all the information on the board, talking to himself, remembering certain events and tones of voice that certain people had. Now, we've seen this before in countless other movies and television shows, but still, for me, it worked in this with Cross. I liked it. It stood out and added more depth to his character. It put him on a pedestal as if he's able to do certain things and has certain skills that nobody else possesses. But remember, I did say that the man is flawed. Now, I also want to talk about some of the supporting characters. His partner by the name of John, played by Isaiah Mustafa. I've never heard of this gentleman before. This is my first time seeing him in anything. If we scroll down, he was in Boy Kills World. I did not see that, but heard good things. Murder at Yellowstone City, The Hostage, Blackish, and you can see the rest on the screen. Again, I saw it chapter 2, but I don't remember him in that. But I will say, I really did like Isaiah in this. I really did, sir. If you're watching this, you are now on my radar. If I see any material with you coming out soon, any movies, television shows, I'm gonna check it out because I thought you did a great job here. And I love the relationship that you had with Alex in this series. John was not effing around. He was a true friend, 10 toes down, like, my brother, I care about you and you need to get some counseling. You need to get some therapy. You can't be raising these babies at home and you're not all the way mentally right up here, okay? And I'm not gonna let you have the taco until you make the appointment. I love it. That's what friends are supposed to be, and that's what John was in this series. I want people like John in my life around me that's not just gonna say yes to me all the time. That's gonna keep it real 100%, 10 toes down. Like, I love that. And again, they're friends, they're partners, they're gonna get into it. They're gonna bump heads, and I felt it too. Not just because I can relate because I've gotten to it with loved ones before, but the way they talk, the way that they express themselves, and not just them, like the entire cast. This is a majority Black cast in this television series, and I like the way they talk. They talk the way I talk now, or the way I listen to, or talk the way their friends around me listen to. Like, you're not finna catch me over here saying, oh, that was lit. I know exactly what it means and all that, but that's just not the way I talk, you know what I'm saying? Or, oh, this is turned up over here. But I don't necessarily say those things verbatim, but my people do, my family do, my friends do. So to see all of this unfold on screen just made it that much more entertaining for me. I also loved all the social commentary. There were real life social events going on in this film when it comes to police brutality, Black Lives Matter, defund the police, all of that. Cops are corrupt, you know, coonery and sellouts and all of that stuff. I can relate to all that. That is right up my neighborhood. And it wasn't forced or anything like that. It was organic, and it was a story that was necessary to be told. And all of the extras filling in all of these supporting roles was dope. Everybody came and they knocked it out the park. I mean, it just a great series. It's a great series. And seriously, like, all the supporting characters, like the rest of his partners at work. He had this Black chick and I think this Hispanic chick. I like the way they was talking trash and back and forth and how much pride and self-esteem they had. Also, this sister right here by the name of Samantha Wonks. I've never heard of her before. She was fine as hell. She was beautiful. She was also classy. She is a love interest for Alex Cross. She was in Orphan First Kill. I did not see, that was a sequel prequel to the first Orphan film that was fantastic. I heard they're coming out with an Orphan 3. I don't know if she's in it or not because I haven't seen Orphan 2 or know if she survived. But, you know, if you're a fan of hers, let me know. I am now a fan of hers too. She was great. I loved her in this too. But I want to talk about the villains some more. And man, my goodness gracious, it was a large web of effery in this series. And it just goes to show, for one, this show has to do with healing and trauma. If you are going through something, please seek professional help. You are only doing yourself a disservice if you do not talk to somebody about it. Talk to somebody, preferably a professional. But that is the main through line throughout this whole entire series. No matter what side of the line you're on, whether you're a good guy, bad guy, good guy, or in between, everybody needs therapy. And if you do not get it, you are just setting yourself up for failure. That's throughout this whole series, like I said. And I love the way they executed every aspect of it in this show. And I think that this will inspire more people to get therapy and seek healing as well. So great job there. But it also just goes to show the depths of evil that some people go through living out their lives under the impression that they're not harming anybody else. These are psycho killers, serial killers, truly disturbed individuals that have no remorse, that are just selfish and want to fulfill their own selfish needs. And it's sick because people out there in real life exist like this, and we just don't know. They can be at any grocery store, bank, retailer, wherever. You just don't know. So you got to be careful and keep your head on the swivel. There was a bit of action in this as well. Not much, but the little sprinkles that we got, I really did enjoy. And again, guys, I have no complaints. You need to see this series. It is a must see. You will enjoy yourself. And I just got to say again, the acting across the board was great. And the love that Alex had for his wife, man. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Everybody deserves that type of love. Again, I really did love this series. I'll go ahead and give my rating for it at the very end, guys. But for now, that is just my opinion. And I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed my recap, if you enjoyed the series, subscribe, leave a comment, share, and give me a thumbs up. Also, I will be having a review for Cobra Kai Season 2 on my channel as well. So go ahead and click somewhere on the screen if you want to check that out. But if I had to rate Cross out of a 1 out of 10, I'll give it a solid 9.5 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. You're probably saying to yourself, Brandon, if you have no complaints, why did you give it a perfect 10? That's just because it's not sending me through the roof. I'm not sitting here like, oh my God, that was the best thing ever. It was damn good, but I'm just not feeling like that. And I still think you should go see it. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery. That's just my opinion. Peace. And I'll see you next time.